Howdy, Ags. Hello. Is that a fire drill? Fire. Whew. Hello. Howdy, Ags. Is it up? What am I doing? You can hear me? Howdy, Ags. Huh? She said louder. If we could all start grabbing our seats, we're about to start. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Is that good? Can everyone hear me? If everyone can start taking their seats, I want to make sure we do have enough seats for everyone. If there is not, the tables can comfortably sit 10 people, and we only have 8 people at the tables. So we do have extra chairs if needed. We're going to start here in about 5 minutes. While you're waiting, if you could please fill out, Donnie, they still can't hear. If you're a part of the beginning part of the program, go ahead and find yourself up to the stage. And just find your seats. I want to make sure everyone has a seat. I think we have a few more extras than we expected. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Is this louder? Is it louder? Hello? Hello? Can everyone hear me in the back? Louder?
Put that one, just speak right into that one.
Okay, can I turn it like... Is this better? Can everyone hear me? Yeah? Are we good? What?
Here, just hold this.
Wow, that worked. Okay, I just want to make sure everyone has a seat. Does everyone have a seat? Everyone back there? Okay, Okay, we're ready to start the program. If you're part of the first part of the program, please come to the front of the stage. You know what you're supposed to do. Howdy, Ags. Howdy. Welcome. I'm Robin Hensley, class of 03, and I'm the muster chair for 2021. It is so great to see everyone here back in person. Whoop. I do want to say before I start, there are many thank yous I need to send out. Melissa Gutenberger, of course, for helping me and guiding me through getting all the program details. Brandy Corder and Ms. Debbie Dimmick for your help in getting this hall decorated as you guys see it tonight. So thank y'all very much, wherever you're at. And then, of course, Shelby and Donnie and the rest of the crew. We are very excited that we are able to bring to you guys some audio video that we had from last year when we did a virtual muster. We thought it was really neat and we wanted to bring it in. So I'm glad that we are able to incorporate that for our in-person muster. So I hope it works. These guys, Taylor and Donnie, have been working really hard at making sure it can be live streamed and that we can see the slides. So thank you guys. And then last but not least, Glenn Imshoff in the bar for bringing all of those. That can't go without saying a thank you. Last year kind of threw us for a loop. But one thing stayed the same. We mustered. It was a virtual program, yet us Aggies still mustered. It was nothing that we had done before, but we made it happen. As we say in Aggie land, there's a spirit that can never be told. The spirit was alive and on our live Facebook streams and computers, and we all answered here with our Aggie family. Thankfully, this year, we are able to go back to a little bit more normalcy and muster here in person. A few months ago, as I was preparing for this year's muster, my mom sent me something that she wrote in 2013 regarding muster, and I'll call it the Aggie spirit. In her post, she said that she didn't feel like attending muster in East Bernard that day. That year, we were fortunate to have Jackie Sherrill as our speaker. During his speech, he spoke of many great Aggies of the past, Earl Rudder and Jack Pardee, to name a few. After each notable Aggie, he would say, "But I'm here at American Legion Post 226 in East Bernard for roll call." It was very moving, and Jackie was visibly emotional. Afterwards, she was thankful that she made it to muster in East Bernard at American Legion Post 226 that evening. The Aggie spirit is strong. My mom is not a Texas A&M graduate, but that night in East Bernard, she felt the Aggie spirit. My grampy, her dad, A.J. Wendell, bled maroon. He was a proud Aggie, and he would be so proud to know that 5 of his grandchildren followed in his footsteps to Aggieland, and that this fall, 2 of his great-grandchildren will be on campus as fish. As a senior in high school, I tried to be rebellious and threatened to go to that other school in Austin. But it turns out, deep down, I bled maroon too. So naturally, Aggieland was where I was supposed to be. I attended my first muster on campus in 2002 while a sophomore at Texas A&M for a friend who had unexpectedly passed way before his time. From that moment, sitting in Reed Arena, muster and the Aggie spirit has been dear to my heart. It's a tradition that takes the breath away from anyone who attends, Aggie or not. The respect that is given to the alumni that has passed before us. You can't leave muster without taking a moment to reflect. When I attend, I think of the Aggies before me, my grampy, my friend in college, my friends from my hometown. It's a wonderful remembrance of those folks in our memories. I would like to close with the words of Randy Matson, the keynote speaker at the campus muster in 2000, who vowed, "We're here tonight to pledge that none of you will be forgotten as long as there are 2 Aggies left in the world." I want to personally congratulate the new class of Aggies with us here tonight. You have decided to become part of something special, the Aggie Network. The Aggie spirit is now upon you. Good luck to you all. Again, as we say, there is a spirit that can never be told. From the outside looking in, you can't understand it. From the inside looking out, you can't explain it. That is the Aggie spirit. Welcome to the 2021 muster program. Giga Mags. So again, thank you all for coming. We are all of us at the club, we are so happy that we could do this in person and not virtually muster. I did want to pass out a few housekeeping things. We're doing a few things a little bit different this year. For scholarships, in the past, we've had people walk up and stand on stage. Instead, we're just going to have the scholarship recipients just stand up at their tables when they are honored. And then on the same with the roll call, we're going to do that the same. I believe that the ladies at the roll call desk had also told you that for roll call, instead of coming up to the stage and lighting up at the front, when your person is named, you will light your candle at your table and stand up and answer here. So just wanted to let you know that at this time, can you please join Shelby Gaddeke in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The muster tradition. Century-old roots provide the basis for muster as Aggies know it today. It has changed, yet the spirit in which it was established remains the same. Since the founding of Texas A&M, every Aggie has lived and become a part of the Aggie spirit. What we feel today is not just the camaraderie of fellow Aggies. It's the spirit of hundreds of thousands of Aggies who've gone before us and who will come after us. Muster is how that spirit is remembered and celebrated, and it will always continue to unite Texas A&M and the Aggie family. A&M may change, but the spirit never will. In the beginning, Aggies gathered together on June 26, 1883, to live over again their college days, the victories and defeats won and lost upon the drill field and in the classroom. By April 21, 1903, this annual gathering evolved into a celebration of Texas independence on San Jacinto Day. These early meetings included field games and banquets for Aggies to reflect and celebrate their memories of Aggieland. Let every alumni answer a roll call, wrote the former students. It was not until 1922, however, that April 21st became the official day of events for all Aggies. Thus, the annual tradition of muster was born. The March 1923 Texas Aggie urged, "If there's an A&M man in 100 miles of you, you are expected to get together, eat a little, and live over the days you spent at the A&M College of Texas." Bigger and better. Still remembering and honoring the time spent in Aggieland, the tradition of muster has grown in strength, in meaning, and in spirit. By 1929, the meetings had spread worldwide, and in 1942, Aggie muster gained international recognition. 25 men, led by General George Moore of 1908, mustered during the Japanese siege of the Philippine island of Corregidor. Knowing that muster might soon be called for them, dedication, and friendship that is the essence of the Aggie spirit. They risked their lives to honor their beliefs and values. That small group of Aggies on an outpost during World War II inspired what has developed into one of our greatest traditions. Today, muster is celebrated in more than 300 locations worldwide, with the largest ceremony taking place on the Texas A&M campus in College Station. This ceremony brings together more Aggies worldwide on one occasion than any other event.
Please bow your heads. Our Father, as Aggies come together in all parts of the world, we pause to praise Thee for the many material and spiritual blessings of past years. We are humbly grateful for our Aggie heritage and the camaraderie we enjoy. Strengthen the sense of our God-given love and friendship. May it spread to men and women of all schools, nations, and races, and bring people of the world into a new bond of friendship and peace. Fill with Thy presence the circle of our friendship that is broken by an absence in our roll call. May we have a reverent appreciation for the great examples and sacrifices given by those of us whom we honor by silver taps. Bless the inspiration of this occasion, that we may be strong in body, keen in mind, friendly in society, and religious at heart. Through Thy grace we pray. Amen. So, y'all can have a seat now. We, at this point, are supposed to do dinner, but apparently, being off in-person things for a year, we're kind of trying to figure out how to do that again. So, dinner is about 5. I just peeked back there. It is almost ready. When it is, we're going to let our, the Sorrells are going to lead it, because they've done this so many years that y'all can just follow what they do, and they know what to do, and we'll all follow them. So, we'll start with them. And then we'll just kind of snake back and forth. You guys will go through these doors. For those who haven't been here, again, just follow the person in front of you. For those who have been, the lines are where they usually are. And you'll go through, come out this door, and you can get your dessert and drink. And we will let you know as soon as it's ready. And Melissa's going to go ahead and do the update so that we can keep moving along with the program.
How do they say it? The show must go on? All right. Well, we're going to make this quick, and if they raise the red flag that says it's time to eat, we'll just cut our club update. How about that? Howdy, Ags. Howdy. My name is Melissa Gutenberger, and it's my privilege to be the Wharton County A&M Club president. And I really don't know how I got this job, but this is my last and final muster in leadership. Katie Dimmick and I started 10 years ago. Our boys are going to turn 10 this June. I went to my first Wharton County muster, I believe 11 years ago. I'm originally from Washington County. That's where I was born and raised. And I went to my first Wharton County A&M Club muster, and I met Mr. Sorrell. And I don't think it was a mistake, but you know what happens when you say, "I'll help"? I think I got a call a couple days later, and he said, "How about you take on muster?" And so one of the first families that my husband, who's from Wharton County, introduced me to was the Dimmick family. And I quickly befriended Katie, and she became my partner in crime, and we co-chaired muster for many years together. And then a few years ago, there were lots of Aggies, many of y'all who are in the room tonight, who were the foundation of this club going back generations. And so we had a fine group, but it was time to kind of resurface some new blood. And so myself and Debbie said we would stay on board, and we recruited some new Aggies from across the county. And let me just tell you, this was the right decision, because these people that I'm going to introduce have the spirit of Aggie Land in their heart. They have worked very, very hard. 2020 was not a slow year for us. Thankfully to technology and Donnie Clapp, we continued to meet. I think we met more in 2020 than we've ever met as a board. We were able to do that virtually, and so that was fantastic. We were able to pull off a first ever virtual muster last year. And by the way, I'm sorry for our virtual guests that are online tonight. I don't know if you all know this here, but we do have Wharton County Aggies and hopefully Aggies all over the place that are streaming in tonight to watch muster that couldn't be here. Thanks to Donnie and his team and Taylor. And so anyhow, I'm getting off track, but 2020 was a tremendous year, even though despite the circumstances. And so I would like to introduce our board of directors because they don't get enough credit. Donnie Clapp, Vice President. And yes, please stand. Debbie Dimmick, our Secretary. Kenneth Josie is our new Treasurer. And I might add, for those of y'all who know Suzanne Horak, Suzanne was a faithful board member for 5 or 6 years and recently stepped down, and so Kenneth has gladly taken her place, but we appreciate Suzanne's service. Yes, please clap for her. Robin Hensley, where are you, Robin? Muster Chair. She's doing a fantastic job. Shelby Gaddicke, who you're going to hear from in a minute, she has done a phenomenal job with our scholarship or our fundraising program, in addition to Mandy Guillen with our scholarship program. We have really done some great things. Mandy Guillen, would you stand up, please? Where are you, Mandy? All right. Brandy Corder. Brandy is also co-chair with scholarship with Mandy. And then last but not least, I hope he's streaming in tonight. Y'all give him a hard time. Jody Irwin, he's our social chair. And he can't be with us tonight because it's his little girl's birthday. And we've got to convince that young lady to become an Aggie. So until we can convince her, he's probably going to be with her on her birthday. But Jody's our social chair. So I wanted to kind of address quickly 3 questions that I think we commonly get asked is, what is the Wharton County A&M Club? Do I become a member? And how can I get involved? So to answer what is the Wharton County A&M Club, we really serve, in my mind, for 3 purposes. The first is to keep the spirit alive in Wharton County of Aggies. And we do that by honoring Aggies at muster, which we're doing tonight. And so that is number 1 in my mind, and I think the board's mind as well. Number 2 is that we exist to raise money. And there's been generations of Aggies who have worked hard to build money over the years, and now we've been able to continue to do that through a golf tournament that Shelby's going to tell you about. But we exist to raise money to give to not only incoming students that are going to attend Texas A&M, but we're now giving money to current and transfer students. And so that is phenomenal. And I'm not going to steal Shelby's thunder because she's going to fill y'all in. And then lastly, this is where we're going to give our friend Jody a hard time. Jody's our social chair, and many of y'all in the room can probably tell stories about years ago getting on buses and driving to College Station to watch football or baseball games. When I first got started in the club 10, 11 years ago, we were having Aggie football watch parties and happy hours. And then somewhere in the last few years, that has fallen off. And so we're going to get COVID behind us, and we're going to do some social things again to where hopefully we can bring the Aggie spirit together once or twice a year where families can get together and do something connected to Texas A&M. Sound good? All right. And then who can be a member? You are all members, okay? Right now, we do not have dues. Maybe at some point we should, because that's a way to raise money. But right now, if you're an alumni of Texas A&M, or if you're just a fan of Texas A&M, we don't care if you graduated, you can be a part of the A&M Club. And right now, because we do not have dues, how you can give back and how you can feel like you're contributing is to donate to our scholarship program. And maybe you don't play golf, but I'm going to show you here in a minute how you can donate online, and you can do that anytime during the year, okay? And I think after you hear from Shelby, you're going to see why you want to be a part of the amazing things that we're doing. And then lastly, if you want to get involved, if you would like to be considered to be a part of, we have a muster committee, and we also have a fundraising committee. If you are an Aggie out there or an Aggie fan, regardless of your age, if you want to get involved and be on a committee, we've got a place for you. And so we want you to let us know. There's actually a sheet in the back of the room tonight. You can put your name on that list, and we will gladly contact you, or you can let any of the board members know that you want to get involved. And remember, be careful when you say you want to help, you're going to get roped in, okay? But we would love to have new blood, and we want the Aggie spirit alive across all of Wharton County. It's not El Campo, it's not Wharton, it's our whole county. So we want everyone from across the 5 counties to participate. I'm getting long, so I'm going to move quickly. How you can stay connected, Donnie, maybe let's go back. We have a website, whartoncountyAgs.org. Donnie does a great job of updating information, so anytime you want to know what's going on with the fundraiser, where can I direct someone that I know that wants to apply for a scholarship, and how can I donate to the club or find out what's going on with the fundraiser, just go to our website, okay? We're really trying to do a good job with that. The next place you can look is our Facebook page. I know many of y'all like Facebook. Well, guess what? We've got a Facebook page, and tonight we're streaming Muster live from that Facebook page, so like us on Facebook. That's another way to follow what's going on. And then also, just so you know, we try to send out emails through the association to all of Wharton County Aggies. But guess where we get those email addresses? From the association. So if you lived on Archer Road, or give me a street in College Station, if you lived on University 20 years ago and you never updated your address, that's what the association has as your contact information. So if you haven't updated that in a long time, that's where we're getting our information. So you want to first update it there. The second best place is go on our website, and where it says update your information, you can put in your current information here, and we'll have that in our database. Let's say you're a first-generation Aggie and your parents are here tonight and you don't know what all of this is about, but you want to be a part of the great things that we're doing. We don't care if you didn't go to Texas A&M, but your student is, and we want to keep you informed. So go online and put in your information, and we'll keep you informed that way. Okay, so anybody's welcome to put in their information here online, and we're going to start to build our own database of communication. And then lastly, the donation button. This is like being in church when the pastor has to talk about tithing. Here we are. You can donate $25, $100, $5. You just put the amount that you feel God is leading you to give, and you put it in there and hit submit, and we'll gladly take your money, okay? But we're going to say that even if you're not a golfer, you can be a part of what we're doing, and we're also going to work towards doing more fun things to include all of us that maybe are not golfers in the room to give back to what we're doing. And I'm sure I've forgotten something, but I was plenty long, and I want y'all to hear briefly from Shelby about what's been happening with scholarships and raising money for students.
Howdy, Ags. Okay, so this fall we had our second annual Aggie Classic. It was kind of a random decision when we decided to do golf, being that the person in charge of the golf fundraiser has never played golf and knows nothing about it, but I knew to recruit people who knew more than me. That was the key. Now, this year we decided to we had 4 categories for our sponsorship level. We had our maroon hole sponsor, which was the hole sponsor plus a team, a 4-man team. We had a white sponsor, which was also a hole sponsor. We had a Howdy flag sponsor, and then we had a 12-man sponsor. So overall, we ended up with 97 sponsors, which equals a lot of money for scholarships. Our total teams, we had 15 maroon sponsors, which were the whole plus a team, and we had 6 white sponsors, 14 Howdy, and 61 12-man sponsors. In addition to our tournament, we knew that there was a huge non-golfing group of people, so we had a raffle. And we had some wonderful prizes that were donated for the raffle, and we raised a lot of money to help go towards these scholarships as well. Overall, our raffle ended up raising over $6,000 for something that we just kind of were hoping and praying to help fill in the void that we may not make our goal for the rest of the tournament. For our tournament, we had an amazing committee to help pull it all off. All of the board members really didn't have much choice but to help me, because I would just call them until they came on and helped. But we also had some wonderful volunteers that I have to name: Summer Dortick, Stacy Ermis, Tyler Farah, Ginger Harris, Laura Hickle, Brian Jensen, Tracy Jones, Kim Kelly, Raylan Leopold, Bobby Ogden, Brenda Ogden, Justin Turner, and Jeff Wadsworth. These people were huge in our overall success. Okay. Overall, our golf tournament, when we originally set out to do this, we had been giving how many scholarships beforehand?
We were giving 12 $1,000.
Okay. We had been giving 12 $1,000 scholarships. Well, we sat around and we raised the bar. We decided, let's give more. And freshmen get lots of scholarship opportunities. Let's have opportunities for our transfer students and our current students at A&M. And we decided, why not give 25? And let's make them $1,200 instead of $1,000. And so we decided that would need to raise $30,000, which was a huge goal because we hadn't done fundraising in years. So our first year, we had a good, valiant effort. But in year 2, our tournament alone raised $28,895, plus the raffle of $6,615. After our expenses, we exceeded our goal and made $31,138. That would not have been possible without many of you who I know we had a ton of sponsors from this room alone, but we also built a good relationship with our representative at the Association of Former Students. We were able to collaborate with him. One thing that he did, he brought in a lot of cool Aggie swag for our tournament. We had a great big trailer with the association in the parking lot. We had a huge tent to welcome everybody. He put flags out throughout the golf course. And he gave some pretty awesome prizes in our raffle, including a Jimbo Fisher autographed helmet. Which, when we added that to the raffle list, our raffle sales skyrocketed. We were able to give some pretty great prizes for all of our winners, all of our teams. Overall, I think everybody had a wonderful time, even the non-golfers. It was a great day. We have already booked our golf tournament for next year. It is going to be Friday, October 29th at the El Campo Country Club. We would love to max out our teams and have tons of people coming to have a great time and support these kids. And if you are interested in helping in any way, shape, form, or fashion, sponsoring or playing, please let me know. Thank you so much. Gig 'em.
Is it dinner time? All right. Do you want to give instructions, or you want me to?
Okay, so like Katie said, if we'll just start with Gordon Sorrell's table with our speaker, John Comstock. Y'all can lead the line, and then we'll just snake through the front line and just kind of keep going through. So everyone's not kind of standing in line waiting. So. Katie, which way was the door? That way, yes. And there's 2 doors. So it should go fairly quick, 2 doors, and I think 2 sides of the table serving.
Mackenzie Till, Lana Foyt, and Hope Tomlinson. Now, something that y'all may not know is that after muster last year, we awarded scholarships to current and transfer students. We were able to give out 14 scholarships last year of $1,200, and those recipients are Elizabeth Wilson. Oh, and some of them probably aren't here. Kaylin Jones, Blair Watts, Shay Potts, Allison Yedlichka, Bethany Gold, Caitlin Marquardt, Courtney Howard, Sarah Marie Barrett, Lucy Tallis, Katie Blaha, Abby Ferrara, students at Texas A&M.
They're not going to feedback, are they? No, they're not connected. Okay. I appreciate it. Howdy. My name is John Comstock, sometimes called the 13th Man. But before I begin, I wanted to, it's an honor and privilege for me to be here today. And I wanted to thank the Wharton A&M and especially Robin Hensley for inviting me here today. So this has been 2 years in the making. She contacted me a few years, we weren't able to do it. And she stayed on the ball. And so it's just an honor to be here to speak to you about muster. And also to tell you a little bit about my story as the 13th man. Now, I was the first Aggie in my family. So I even have to go back and look up these traditions because I don't know them that well. But so I started as a freshman in 1999 as the first, wanted to go into pre-med, so A&M was a great choice for me. I went to a school in Dallas called Jesuit, which is an all-boys Catholic school, and so A&M seemed to be a good fit for me. I had a friend who was actually working with me on Bonfire that went to A&M, so I'd heard a little bit about it. But for the most part, he just seemed like a crazy family with a dog named Aggie. And so I started my career at A&M, and really I wasn't the best student. I got into Moses Hall and was approached by the dorm leaders who asked me to come out for Bonfire. And I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. Everybody was really friendly, and it seemed like a fun thing. And we got about 40 people on the first go out to Bonfire. And on the second one, we got about 20 people. And there's a good reason for that. Moses Hall's motto is first in, last out. So we have to be the first people into the woods and the last ones to leave. So we get up at about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning is when the wake-up CD, and then everybody gets out and goes out to the bonfire to start working on it. And I fell in love with it. It just became a true passion of mine, and loved A&M with a passion. When I would come home and talk about it, my mom didn't really know what I was talking about. When I mentioned bonfire, she thought it was a little bonfire in the woods. So really my family had no idea. In fact, she was from Ohio, and so all she knew was what she would say is, all I knew is Woody Hayes and the Buckeyes. So she really had no idea about A&M and the traditions there were. And so I was working on Bonfire, and of course the fateful night of November 18th, we had pulled a double shift, so I was working from 6 to 12 and then 12 to 6, so we were basically working a 12-hour shift. And at about 2:45 in the morning, I was up on top of the third tier when the whole structure collapsed. And I'm not going to go into too much details about the night, but ultimately, because it was like a game of pick-up sticks and everything was connected by wires, it was an extremely difficult situation to get me out of. And in fact, because I was higher up than other people, which was good in the sense that I was under smaller logs, but the bad part was messing with those logs was going to affect the whole structure below it. What they did was ultimately just kept me awake, kept me talking, and the night progressed. And eventually, about 7.5 hours later, I was still conscious, and they finally were able to get me out. And one of the more notable things when I talk about it is something I didn't really realize, but after about 7.5 hours, they had cleared the site just around the bonfire, but I didn't realize that half the campus has showed up. So when they finally pulled me out from the bonfire, they said, you know, John, just give them a thumbs up and let them know you're okay. And I was completely strapped in, so I could only really look straight up. But I gave a thumbs up, and there was just thousands of people cheering. You could have heard a pin drop that night. So I didn't realize there were that many people around hoping and praying for me. But so they got me into the med, and ultimately they put me under for immediate surgery, and I was pretty much out until New Year's. I don't remember anything. But there was one particular night, and they had amputated because it was rotting from the inside out, and so they had to amputate. But it was so certain that I was going to die, A&M had printed out a press release that had said I was 19 from Richardson, Texas, and that I was the 13th fatality in the bonfire collapse. And they actually had this printed out and ready to go for all the major media outlets. But so that's kind of where the story of how I got called the 13th man comes. But the more notable up, I still remembered everything that had happened to me. And I couldn't really talk because I still had a trach, but
as well as anyone else who would want to answer. So once we get the lights down, we'll start.
Let's bow our heads for the muster prayer. As A&M former students come together in all parts of the world, we we pause to acknowledge the many blessings that have come our way in the past years. We are humbly grateful for our Aggie heritage and the camaraderie we enjoy because of our love of our university. We desire our sense of fellowship to spread to people in all schools and nations in order to bring the men and the women of the world into a new bond of friendship and mutual understanding. In our fellowship, we pause to remember those who are absent. May we have a deep appreciation for the great examples and sacrifices given by those of us whom we honor by silver taps or by silent mourning. We wish for strength to try to do our tasks better in service to humanity, our nation, our university, and our associates. May this occasion inspire us to be strong in body, keen in mind, and friendly in society. Amen.
In many lands and climes this April day, proud sons of Texas A&M unite. Our loyalty to country, school we pay, and seal our pact with bond of common might. We live again those happy days of yore, on campus, field, in classroom, hall, at drill. Fond memory brings a sigh, but nothing more. Now we are men, and life is one great thrill. On Fortress Isle, 79 years ago today, a group of gallant Aggies led by Moore held simple rights which to us all doth say, the spirit shall prevail over cannon roar. They thought of home and all we hold most dear. Where are they now, those boys we knew so well? Ask of the winds, let smile repress a tear. Think only of their glory when they fell. Corregidor, forevermore a hallowed name, to countless sons of Texans yet unborn. Symbolic like it stands for deathless fame, a shrine sublime till resurrection morn. Softly call the muster, let comrade answer hear. Their spirits hover round us, as if to bring us cheer. Mark them present in our hearts, we'll meet some other day. There is no death, but life etern, for heroes such as they. Mr. James Ferguson Sr., class of 62. Here. Mr. Bob Mishka, class of 89. Here. Mr. Jack Query, class of 49. Here. Mr. Jeff Sleva, class of 95. Here. Mr. Robert Zingenhaus, class of 66. Here. Mr. Richard Schaffler, class of 77. Here. Mr. Walter Buddy Davis, class of 52. Here. Mr. Jack Rapp, class of 59. Here. Lieutenant Colonel Marcial Sorrell III, class of 52. Mr. Benjamin Hall, class of '02. Lieutenant Colonel Luane Lickman, class of '02. Mr. Tom P. Richards, class of '65. Mr. Frank Krennick, class of '76. Mr. Alan L. Frederick, class of '60. Mrs. Charlotte Hahn Sharp. Mr. Andy Duffy, class of '78. Mr. William Pete Brown, class of '74. Mr. Robert Howdy Bob Coltrane, class of '65. Colonel Robert Risky, class of '65. Colonel Terry Castile, class of '67. Mr. John Sackett, class of '59. Mr. Wayne Robinson. Mrs. Lori Gibbs, class of '85. Mr. Ted Lowe, class of '58. Mr. Jimmy Tyree, class of '54. Dr. Joe West, class of '54. Mr. Kenneth R. Beamsley, class of '85. Mr. Russell Garrett, class of '90. Mrs. Jen Harris, class of '17. Colonel Delma House, class of '56.
The last Corps trip. It was Judgment Day in Aggie land, and tenseness filled the air. All knew there was a trip at hand, but not a soul knew where. Assembled on the drill field was the world-renowned 12th man, the entire Fighting Aggie team, and the famous Aggie band. And out in front with Royal Guard, the reviewing party stood. St. Peter and his angel staff were choosing bad from good. First, he surveyed the Aggie team in terms of an angel swore. By Jove, I do believe I've seen this gallant group before. I've seen them play since way back when, and they've always had the grit. I've seen them lose and I've seen them win, but I've never seen them quit. No need for us to tarry here, deciding upon their fates. 'Tis plain to see, 'tis plain as the halo on my head, that they've opened heaven's gates. And when the 12th man heard this, they let out a mighty yell that echoed clear to heaven and shook the gates of hell. What group is this upon us? What group is this upon the side? St. Peter asked his aide, that swelled as if to burst with pride when we our judgment made. Why, sir, that is the cadet corps that's known both far and wide for backing up their fighting team, whether they won, lost, or tied. Well then, said St. Peter, it's very plain to me that within the realms of heaven they should spend eternity and have the Texas Aggie band at once commence to play. For their fates, too, we must decide upon this crucial day. And the drum major, so hearing, slowly raised his hand and said, boys, let's play the Spirit for the last time in Aggie land. And the band poured forth the anthem in notes both bright and clear, and 10,000 Aggie voices sang the song they hold so dear. And when the band had finished, St. Peter wiped his eyes and said, it's not so hard to see. They're meant for paradise. And the colonel of the cadet corps said, as he stiffly took his stand, it's just another corps trip, boys. We'll march in behind the band. Then heaven's pearly portals opened. Hosts of angels showed the way for that fighting Texas Aggie group on that final judgment day. When more Aggies came in view, 12 dressed in bonfire gear, walking arm in arm and singing of the school they hold so dear. 12 Aggie voices said, howdy, to the keepers of the gate. Working hard, we just lost track of time. Hope we're not too late. It's the fighting Aggie bonfire crew, St. Peter said. Behold, they're ready to light up heaven. With their courage and faith so bold. I would often watch them building that stack so large and high, and surely knew the time would come they would build it in the sky. And so the 12 came through the gates. St. Peter said, don't fear. You're just in time for roll call. One by one, they answered, here.
Would you join me in singing the Spirit? Some may boast the prowess bold of the school they think so grand, but there's a spirit can ne'er be told. It's the spirit of Aggie's land. We are the Aggies are we, true to each other as Aggies can be. We've got to fight, boys, we got to fight. We got to fight for maroon and white. After they boosted all the rest, they will come and join the best. For we are the Aggies are we. We're from Texas AMC.
The 2021 Texas A&M muster at the Wharton Civic Center is now complete. I charge you to each remain in your loyalty to your humanity and to your country. Keep warm in your hearts your affection for each other and for your alma mater. This muster is dismissed until April 21st, 2022, and may good fortune smile upon you until we meet again. Before everyone leaves, we did want to get some pictures with the scholarship recipients and with the muster committee.